All right, today we're going to talk about something that's with us pretty much 24/7, that little voice inside our heads. You know the one. We're going to dig into what it is and, more importantly, how we can get a little bit of freedom from it.
So let me ask you a question, straight up. Do you hear a voice in your head? And yeah, I'm talking about the one that's probably thinking about that question right now.
If you're thinking yes, well, guess what? You're not alone, not by a long shot. This is a nearly universal part of being human. Honestly, the only real difference between this inner voice and someone talking to themselves on the street is that most of us just, keep it inside. The mental machinery is exactly the same.
So what is this voice actually doing all day long? Oh, it's busy. It's running this nonstop commentary on everything. It's judging, comparing, complaining. It's worrying about a future that doesn't even exist yet. This whole stream of consciousness is basically an old survival tool that's just stuck in overdrive. It was built to spot threats, but now it just filters every single experience through the lens of the past, which means you almost never get to experience the present moment for what it actually is.
And look, this isn't just some harmless little quirk. For so many people, this inner voice becomes a constant tormentor. It causes an incredible amount of unhappiness and stress. It is quite literally draining your life force. But here's the thing, and this is the whole reason we're talking about this today. You can free yourself from your mind. This is a real, profound kind of liberation. And the very first step is something you can do right now. The key is this practice called watching the thinker. Now, it sounds all mystical, but it's incredibly simple. All that means is you start listening to that voice in your head, but not as you. You listen to it like you're an impartial witness, just observing it. So how do you actually do it? Well, it's a simple three-step thing. First, just start listening to the voice. Just notice its patterns, those same old records that play on a loop. Second, just be there as the witness to it. And third, and this is absolutely the most important part, do not judge what you hear. The second you condemn a thought, you've been tricked. Because that judgment, that is the voice, just sneaking in through the back door.
And when you do this, something really profound starts to happen. You have this moment of realization, this flash of clarity. You see, oh, there is the voice, and here I am, watching it. This feeling of I am isn't a thought. It's not from your mind. It comes from somewhere way deeper. This practice creates this huge shift in consciousness. So instead of being trapped in this compulsive, nonstop thinking, you find this conscious awareness. Where your thoughts used to have all this power over you, they start to lose their grip. That constant energy drain gets replaced by a sense of stillness and peace. And you actually start to see reality clearly, feeling alert and totally present. Now, as you practice being the witness, you'll start to notice something else, these little breaks in the stream of thinking. These are called gaps of no mind. And in that little gap, you feel this deep, incredible stillness and peace inside you. At first, these gaps might only last a few seconds, but that's totally fine. This isn't some empty, zoned-out state. This is actually the beginning of your natural state, this feeling of connection and joy that's usually just buried under all that mental noise. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how in the world do we actually practice this in our day-to-day lives, right? It's not like we can all go retreat to a mountaintop.
Well, we can create these gaps of stillness on purpose, simply by directing our full attention right here, into the present moment. That's really the heart of meditation, and the cool thing is, you can do it anywhere, anytime. Literally any routine activity can become your practice. Walking up the stairs, instead of thinking about the meeting you're heading to, just feel every single step, notice your breath. Washing your hands, pay attention to the feeling of the water, the smell of the soap. Getting in your car, just before you turn the key, pause for a second and just observe the flow of your breath. That's it. Just be present. So how do you know if you're doing it right? It's so simple. There's no scoreboard here. The only thing that tells you if you're successful is the amount of peace you feel inside. That's the only metric that matters. If you feel more peace, it's working. Really, this whole entire journey boils down to this one single vital step, learning to disidentify from your mind. Every single time you create one of those gaps in the stream of thought, the light of your own consciousness just gets a little bit stronger. And then one day, something really amazing might happen. You might just catch yourself smiling at the voice in your head, the same way you'd smile at a kid playing a silly game. And that smile, that means you've got it. It means you no longer take what your mind is saying so seriously, because your sense of who you are, it doesn't depend on it anymore. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. What would change in your life if you just stopped taking your own thoughts so seriously? If you no longer believed that every little thought that popped into your head was the absolute truth? What would that kind of freedom actually feel like?